Hey guys, I just want to give a quick update on me. I know I haven't made a video in a long time, but it was starting late July. I started getting like muscle cramps in my left calf muscle. Uh, it was mostly at nighttime. It was like I had just really bad like cramping Charlie horses, and it just kind of lingered during the daytime. It really wasn't Charlie horse, but it was just like if you like flexed your muscle real hard and it wouldn't like unstress itself. It just stayed in a flex, and you have to kind of like rub the muscle out till it eased up. I want to say maybe a month later, it moved into my other calf muscle on my other leg, and just periodically kind of moved throughout my body, like my biceps, into my shoulders. Uh, I don't know. I've been going to the doctors all summer long, trying to figure out what's going on, and just having pretty much no answers. I would go there. They'd look at my calf muscles. They were all like, calf muscles look normal. Then it looks like there's no is that atrophy where your muscles start shrinking or whatever. Because my biggest worry was like ALS or MS. Cause just the way my muscles were feeling, and I was having where I can't remember what that word is, fustations. I think that's how you pronounce it. Like where your muscles just spasm. They spasm. It's weird looking. Almost looks like there's like almost like bugs underneath your skin. They like bounce and move and stuff. A lot of weightlifters when they like lift a lot of heavy weights afterwards, sometimes their muscles kind of spasm like that. But imagine just doing that without exercising. The best way I can or not the best way I can the best way I can explain how my calf muscles felt is like, let's say if you did like leg day at the gym and a few days later you get that like really sore feeling, and that's how my calf muscles have been feeling like since late July. I'll get up in the morning, they feel real sore, and they just stay real sore throughout the day. And I just kind of started getting weakness maybe a month and a half after those issues. Just feeling real weak, legs feeling weak, arms feeling weak. Feels like when I raise my shoulder up, I could feel like just like a muscle pulling, like if you stretch a rubber band out. Like it doesn't hurt, but I just feel like there's something stretching in my shoulder. So long story short, for months I've been going to the doctors, and they're all like, you're not showing signs, symptoms of. Because I go in there and I tell them, I'm just kind of really concerned about MS, ALS. I know that's the worst thing to think because I'm really jumping to like the worst things, but I mean, I didn't know. I mean, you hear stories of people with ALS starting with weakness and stuff. But, anyways, I want to say it was November 9th when I went to my doctor, and I've been doing research about vitamin issues. And vitamin D, when I looked that up, there's a lot of stuff that's lining up with what my problems are. And, like with the muscle issues. Some people have brain fog with it. I really haven't no brain fog. Depression it can cause. I've been kind of depressed, but it's because my muscles hurt. I mean, they hurt really bad. That's what really gets you worried. It's like it takes away a lot of your fun time. When you go out and do stuff, all you want to do is lay around because you're hurting really bad. It's really been hell. It's really been really concerning. And but anyways, when I went to the doctors and I told them like I want a blood test. I'm like I want my vitamin D checked because they weren't gonna check it. I would have just been sent home again, and then tell me we'll see what we can do, but you know this and blah blah blah. I don't know. Just all summer long it was just like I was getting no treatment really. Well, I told them like I want my vitamin D checked and vitamin B12 because vitamin B12 can cause all sorts of hell on your body if it's low. Well, the doctor I had that time because I go to a clinic and usually it's like 2 or 3 different doctors I see. They're good doctors. It's just like I've never had any issues with them until just recently with trying to figure out what's going on with me. It just feels like they weren't really looking into it. And well, anyways, they did the test, and she actually put different blood tests onto it too that I didn't even ask for. Like she did like a autoimmune disease because autoimmune diseases can cause muscle issues. I also asked for like tick-borne illnesses test because I ride my four-wheeler out in the woods all the time. We got trails down here, and you never know. Sometimes a tick might have got on and you might not even have noticed it. You don't really feel them half the time. And I got long hair. Who knows the one might have got on top of my head and I didn't know it, and then a few days later it fell off. But anyways, all the tests comes back. All the tests come back great except for vitamin D. Your vitamin D level should be in the United States. It should be like 30. Start at 30 and it could go all the way I think like to 80 or 100. Over 100, you're getting toxicity. Below 30, you're insufficient. If you go to below 20, you're you're really bad off with it. Well, my number was 16, so I'm way deficient in vitamin D, and I'm really hoping that's the issue. I actually have a test coming up in December. It's called an EMG test. They stick needles in your muscles, and it checks, I guess, for like if your muscles are moving and whatnot, to see if you possibly have like ALS or MS. I mean, the test does all sorts of stuff because it checks for. There's a big list of like muscle problems besides just ALS and MS, but that's like the gold standard, they say, for checking for MS and ALS. Besides that, they'll do an MRI. But for me to get an MRI through my through the clinic I go through, I would either have had it done 6 weeks of physical therapy, which I had to pay out of pocket. 6 weeks of chiropractic. I don't want to go to a chiropractor, and I had to pay that out of pocket. And then it was like 6 weeks of like at-home exercise. But anyways, I'd have to do that to get an MRI, and that's another way they can spot like MS or ALS. You'll have like lesions on your spine, or I guess on your brain. But I never had that test done. I wish I could have got that done, but it's like I had to jump through these hoops just to get it because I don't have insurance. I mean, I don't have a lot of money, so the American health system is. But anyways, that's kind of what's going on with me. I've been prescribed 50,000 IU units of vitamin D that I take once a week. And I've seen stories of people say it takes months to feel better. Some people feel better within a few weeks. I'm on my 3rd week of taking my vitamin D at the 50,000 IU units, and I'm still not feeling the greatest. But there's been videos I've seen people say that it took them 2 to 3 months just to get rid of the bone pain. I got my fingers crossed that it's vitamin D, because, I mean, if anybody knows anything about ALS, it's a death sentence. There's no cure for it, and usually 2 to 5 years is what you live with it, and you die. You die slowly. Your muscles fell on you. You end up a prisoner in your own body, and you eventually stop breathing because you're, all through there, your muscles in there, or them help you breathe, and eventually they'll shut down. So I'm really hoping that it's my vitamin D, and I'm thinking it's my vitamin D. But it was weird, like all summer, even though I was having the muscle pains through July and August, it predominantly got worse until just recently when I got the prescription. I feel like it's helped just a teeny bit, but I don't know. I rode 4-wheelers all summer. I was out in the sun. That's how you get vitamin D, the best versions of vitamin D that you can get. Like, I know you can get vitamin D in your foods, but they say the best is Absorb-Sun. And I was out all summer riding my 4-wheeler with Papa Air Gunner. My next door neighbors, they have 4-wheelers. We rode all summer, at least 2-3 days a week we were riding, and it was real sunny all summer. But yeah, my number was 16. It's really low, deficient. Like 30 to 20 is not good, and then anything below 20, your deficiency is, you're in a bad zone. And I just watched one guy's video that he was talking about his levels were at 20, and I think his name's like Bikes and Beards or Cars and Beards. It's something like, I could probably leave a link in the description for his video, but he was at a 20, and his description of what he was going through was really bad. He had vertigo and depression and all sorts of stuff. I've been depressed, but I suffer from depression, but I almost wonder how long my vitamin D has been low. But I've suffered from depression since I was a teenager. But yeah, I mean, he went through like muscle issues. Like, he said something about like his refrigerator was like 15 to 20 feet from him, and it was really hard for him just to get to that. I'm not to that point. I can still get around and move. I'm not to the point where I feel like I'm becoming like borderline crippled. I can get around and move. I walk, but it hurts, and I feel weak, and it's really concerning, and it's scaring me. And I know everybody around me is like, try not to think about it. Try to put that out of your mind. You think about it, you drive yourself crazy. It's like, when it's bothering you 24 hours a day. The only time it's not bothering you is when you're asleep. It's kind of hard not to think about it, but the moral of the story is, if you're having muscle issues, if you're having depression that hits you out of nowhere, if you don't suffer from depression, all of a sudden you're getting really depressed all the time, get your vitamin D checked. Look into it. Google search it. You'll be surprised how many people are deficient in vitamin D. I think it's like 50 to 60% in the United States is deficient in it. Some people have no symptoms. Some people have crazy amounts of symptoms. Like I said, I got my fingers crossed. This is just a vitamin D, my vitamin D doing this. I mean, I know my vitamin D is low, so this is probably what's causing it. I'm still gonna have the EMG test done, just to be safe. My doctors have told me they don't think it's ALS or MS. That I don't really show the signs of it, but they still put the order in for the EMG test. So I guess they said just to kind of like calm my nerves on everything, but you know, I'm 39. I'm gonna be 40 next month. I'm not ready to die yet, so I don't know. I want to quit blabbing. I just want to give you guys an update why I haven't posted videos in a while. Like I said, I rode quads July and August, and then it was like the rest of until now I've just been not doing a whole lot because it's hard to do stuff when you're hurting really bad, and I don't know. I'll quit blabbing now, but yeah, get your vitamin D's checked if you're having any issues. That I'm like Google search, just type in like vitamin D deficiency symptoms. You'd be surprised what pops up. And mine was low, and I had suffered from a lot of the issues that are on there, and all the muscle and bone issues I'm having. It lines just right up with it, but we're still doing the EMG test just to be safe, and hopefully I get a clear, you know, test with it. I'll keep you guys updated if you guys want to know. If you guys are interested in knowing the update after I get the EMG test done in December. But it's funny, it's like one day before my birthday. Like, I have the EMG test, the next day is my birthday, so hopefully I don't get really bad news on my birthday. That would really suck, so I'll catch you guys later.